welcome to another week of Kids Church at Home. This week, we hear at church so many times where God tells us that God is our shepherd and is looking after us, and we can trust that God will have our back. But who has the earth's back? Well, God is also looking after the earth, but we are called to be looking after the earth too. And so as we have celebrated Earth Day this week, let's think about how we might be the shepherds of the earth. How might we take care of the earth? Well, our shout out this week goes to Matthew and Jonathan, who've done a great job of looking after the earth this week. And we're going to get into a story and then a song that I hope will be an earworm for you as you go out in the world and do something good for the earth for this week. Our story today is another book from my library. It's called Greta and the Giants, and it's based on the story of a real person who noticed that something needed to happen because we humans were doing too much damage to the earth. And even though she was young, she was able to do something. I wonder, as you listen to the story, if you find that you are more of a giant or more of a child from the story. And if you're a giant, what are some things that you might be able to do to become more like the children in the story? Let's share this story together.
Greta and the Giants, inspired by Greta Thunberg's Stand to Save the World by Zoe Tucker and Zoe Persico. There once was a girl who lived at the heart of a beautiful forest. Her name was Greta. One morning, things weren't quite as they should be. Greta stepped out into her yard, and there, huddled together in the shadows of the trees, were all the animals of the forest. A soft, silvery brown wolf stepped forward with his tail low to the ground. "Please help us," he whispered. "The forest is broken, and we don't know where to go. The giants are ruining our home." The giants had always been there, for as long as Greta could remember, but now they were worse than ever. They were huge, lumbering oafs, and they were always busy. They chopped down trees to build homes, then they chopped down more trees to build bigger homes, and the houses grew into towns, and the towns grew into cities. They built factories and shops and cars and planes. They worked all day and all night, until eventually there was hardly any forest left. But the greedy giants had forgotten how wonderful the forest was. They didn't see all the little birds and bugs and butterflies and bears that trembled in the shadows, and no one told them to stop because everyone was scared of them. Everyone except Greta. "Will you help us?" asked the wolf. Greta looked around her. The animals looked tired and sad. She had to help them. But how? Then Greta had an idea. The next morning, Greta went to the middle of the forest and waited for the giants to come. She stood alone, holding a big sign. The sign said "Stop." She waited and waited. On the first day, the giants didn't see her and lumbered on by. On the second and the third, the same. But on the fourth day, something strange happened. A little boy who had been watching Greta made a sign and came and sat down next to her. He didn't say much, but Greta knew he felt like she did. Soon more people and animals saw what they were doing and joined in too. "We live here. Save our forest. Help. Stop. Listen." Before long, a huge crowd filled the forest, stretching out to the city and the roads beyond. They stood together and they waited. The crowd was so huge that the giants were stopped in their tracks. "Please stop," Greta cried. "Your greedy behavior is spoiling our home. You've broken the trees and trampled the flowers, and now the bees and birds have flown away. These animals are homeless, and our forest is dying." After Greta had spoken, everything was silent. But then everyone in the crowd began to shout. The smoke from your fires is choking the air. Our home is on fire. We need action now. Please stop cutting down the trees. You can help plant some new ones. We need to take care of our forest and live together. Will you please try? They all said. The giants shuffled and fidgeted and stomped their feet on the ground. They were embarrassed and a little bit sad. You see, the giants were so busy building, they didn't see what they were doing to the forest or the animals who lived there. The giants felt terrible. We're sorry, they said, and they promised to try harder. So from that day on, the greedy giants weren't so greedy. They slowed down and learned to sit quietly. They stopped working all the time and instead took up other hobbies. They stopped chopping down trees and learned all about gardening and living in the forest. They cooked, repaired, tidied, shared, and before long, the forest became more beautiful than they could ever have imagined. The end.
So in our book, the children and the animals and the people learned to be good shepherds for the earth. They saw the damage that was happening and they learned to stand up and say, stop. But the giants also had to learn some new things. They had to learn new habits. I wonder, what are some habits that we could learn that might help the earth some more? I wonder if we bring our own bags when we go to a store. I wonder if we learn new hobbies that take care of the earth and honor the earth, like gardening or going hiking or playing outside. Or what about the idea of repairing things instead of always throwing out everything that breaks? What if we learn to fix things and use them for longer? What are some habits or some practices or some things that you might learn that will help the earth? Because the truth is, we are both the giants and we can also be the kids and the animals in the story. So how can we move from being the giants to the kids and the animals? So I thought, to wrap up our celebration of Earth Day today and us being good shepherds for the earth, we would break out the ukulele and a song. The song is called I'm Gonna Live So God Can Use Me. And we can think about all the things that we can do, all the ways that we can live so God can use us to help heal the earth. And while we're singing and learning the song, I will share some photos of some Earth Day celebration things that happened this week. So you can watch those photos, you can sing along, I'll share the words with you, or you can get some percussion and you can play along too. But if you want to sing, here are the words. The words are, I am gonna live so God can use me. Anywhere, God, anytime. And again, I'm gonna live so God can use me. Anywhere, God, anytime. And then there's some other verses where the words are all the same, but we're gonna switch out live for learn and for play. So come celebrate the earth with me as we sing, as we lift up things that we can do to heal the earth around us, as we get some percussion and do some dancing. And hopefully this song will be an earworm in your mind this week as you go out and do your own things for the earth. I'm gonna live so God can use me. play. I'm gonna play so God can use me anywhere, God, anytime. I'm gonna play so God can use me anywhere, God, anytime. Let's go back to live. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, God, anytime. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, God, anytime. Well, my friends, thank you for singing with me, and I hope that you have an opportunity to get outside this week and to do something to take care of the earth. Whether it is adding your artwork to a sidewalk or cleaning up some garbage or some other way that you can be creative to look after the earth around you. Until next time, let's bless each other on this journey looking after the earth. May there be love in your heart to give, and may there be joy in your heart to share, and may there be strength in your heart to lift others up. See ya!